All right, today we're going to dive into a parenting philosophy that might just change everything you think you know about your child's behavior. Okay, so picture this. You're on a crowded train in Tokyo. It's packed. A toddler starts having a complete and total meltdown. You know the kind. And the mother? She does nothing. She doesn't yell. She doesn't offer a cookie. She doesn't even lean in and whisper, "Stop it." She just waits calmly, like she knows some big secret the rest of us are missing. And, well, it turns out she does. And that scene right there gets to the heart of what we're talking about. In the West, our instinct is often, stop it right now, you know? We jump to threats or maybe bribes. But the Japanese approach, it's totally different. It's not about just stopping the bad behavior. That's just the symptom. It's about digging deeper and understanding the real cause. And that's the huge difference we're going to unpack. So what is this secret? What does she know? Well, it all comes down to this incredible concept called shitsuke. Now, shitsuke, this is not about punishment. It's not about control. It's something way more profound. I mean, just look at the Japanese characters it's made from, body and beauty. So it literally means to attach beauty to the body. Isn't that amazing? It's this art of raising a kid who actually wants to behave, not because they're afraid of getting in trouble, but because it becomes part of who they are, like an internal compass, not just some rule they're forced to follow. Think about it. So often, when our kid acts out, what's the first question that pops into our heads? It's this one, right? How do I stop this? It's completely reactive. We see a problem, and our only goal is to make it go away fast. We're just focused on the behavior. But this is the game changer. The Shitsuke approach flips the question entirely. Instead of, how do I stop this? It asks, what skill is my child missing? Whoa, see the difference? It totally reframes the situation. Suddenly, misbehavior isn't about a bad kid. It's a signal, a sign that a skill just isn't there yet. And that means the parent's job isn't to be a punisher, it's to be a teacher. Okay, so if our job is to be a teacher, how do we actually teach these skills? Well, that brings us to the first big pillar, which is a practice called trustful watching. The word is mimamaru, and it means to watch over while protecting. This is a tough one for a lot of us. It's the art of fighting that powerful, almost instinctual urge to jump in and fix everything for your kid. It means stepping back, not in a cold way, like you don't care, but with this deep foundational trust that they have what it takes to handle difficulty themselves. So what does this actually look like? Well, here's the process. Number 1, pause. Just take a breath. Resist that urge to intervene immediately. Number 2, observe, but watch them with trust in your eyes. And 3, allow. Let them struggle a little bit. Psychologists call this productive struggle, and it's absolutely crucial because that is where real lasting confidence comes from. Not from us telling them good job, but from them overcoming something on their own. Now, this whole idea of stepping back and trustful watching, it only works if it's built on a really strong emotional foundation. And that leads us right into our second pillar, secure connection. That foundation has a name, and it's ame. Now, you might see this translated as dependency, but it's so much more than that. It's that feeling, deep down in your bones, that you can completely and utterly depend on someone's unconditional love. In Japan, the early years of parenting are incredibly warm, very close, lots of physical contact. And this isn't about spoiling a child, nope. It's about building their emotional bedrock. And here's the magic formula, really. We actually have the neuroscience to back this up now. A child who feels deeply, securely attached to their parent literally develops a nervous system that is better at self-regulation. Think about it. If you know without a doubt that you are loved unconditionally, you don't need to act out to get attention or constantly test boundaries. So the formula is simple. Warmth first, structure second. You build that secure base, and independence and self-discipline will grow right out of it. All right, so we have trustful watching and a secure connection. The final piece of the puzzle is how we transform all this into lasting character. And that brings us to pillar 3, daily rituals. I want you to really think about this for a second. We spend so much time focusing on rules and consequences, right? But this philosophy, it focuses on identity. And how is identity shaped? It's shaped by the little things we do over and over again every single day. Simple, consistent repetition. That's how actions turn into habits, and that's how habits build real character. And we're not talking about huge, grand gestures here. We're talking about small daily responsibilities. Things like setting the table, packing their own school bag. In Japan, it's totally normal for kids to clean their own classrooms and serve each other lunch. The point of these rituals isn't just to get chores done. No, it's to send a constant, powerful message to that child's brain: you are capable. You are a valuable contributor to this family, to this classroom. This is part of who you are. Okay, so that's a lot of theory. I get it. And you might be sitting there thinking, this sounds great, but where on earth do I start? Well, the good news is the answer is actually really, really simple. Let's make this super practical. You can start tonight. Just pick one thing, one single small daily ritual. Maybe it's putting their own plate in the sink after dinner. That's it. And the key here is consistency every single day. No sticker charts, no rewards, no pressure, just a simple, calm expectation. Then, you just trust the process, and you watch who your child starts to become. It's powerful. When you really boil it down, shitsuke, mimamoru, amai, yeah, they're Japanese words, but the ideas behind them aren't Japanese secrets. They're human truths. This is stuff backed by decades of child psychology. It's about teaching skills, not just punishing behavior. It's about building connection before you demand compliance. And it's about shaping who they are through tiny, repeated acts of contribution. They're not secrets, they're truths. So I'll leave you with that question to think about. What's the one skill your child might be missing right now?